The Democratic Party is changing very fast. And if you know this better than former Connecticut Senator Joe Liebermann, he lost a primary fight during his party's last leftward swing over a decade ago. Now, this week, he wrote a piece begging Democrats not to vote for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's the Democratic Socialist in New York who's almost certain to win a congressional seat this fall. Electing her, Ocasio-Cortez, Liebermann says, would hurt the Congress, hurt the Democratic Party, and hurt America. Senator Joe Liebermann of Connecticut joins us tonight. Senator, thank you for coming on.
Great to be with you, Tucker. Thank you.
So this candidate is being presented and may indeed be the future of the Democratic Party. Her ideas are the cutting edge of progressive politics right now. Why is that bad?
Well, obviously, she's got a right to her ideas, but if her ideas take hold in the Democratic Party, it's not only not the Democratic Party that I joined a long time ago in the inspiration of John F. Kennedy, progressive on social issues domestically, kind of pro-business, pro-growth in terms of economic policy, and a strong foreign policy based on American national interest and values. I mean, she calls herself a democratic socialist. To me, she's more of a socialist than a Democrat. And that's not good for the party that, though it rejected me in Connecticut in 2006, I continue to be a member of, although I'm obviously independent in who I support, including John McCain in 2008. So, you know what really worried me about this after Ocasio-Cortez beat Joe Crowley? During the campaign, she called for the abolition of ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement Section. It made no sense. I can come back to that. But after she won, 3 credible Democratic candidates for president in 2020 embraced the same call. And it's like the old story about Robespierre during the French Revolution. I got to get out in front of the mob. Those are my followers there, you know.
What happened to Robespierre at the end? Do you remember?
It didn't end well for Robespierre.
So that's kind of the question I wanted to ask you. So I think you could have a real debate on all of these issues, but the one that you just highlighted, abolishing ICE, deeply unpopular with the public. It's going to be hard to win a campaign on that issue. And I think on the merits, it's a bad idea. I'm sure a lot of leaders in your party feel that way. They agree with you. They're not saying it in public. Where are the adults to say that?
I agree. Not enough. I mean, substantively, unless you're against all enforcement of immigration and customs laws, you need an enforcement agency like ICE. These folks are against the Trump administration's immigration policy. They can't make a rational argument against ICE. So where are they? More people should be speaking out. It was kind of interesting that when Ocasio-Cortez beat Crowley, somebody asked Nancy Pelosi about it, and she said that was in one progressive district. It doesn't represent the Democratic Party around the country, which I found heartening, also very practical, because the Democratic Party will not have any chance of retaking the House if the image of the party is democratic socialist. It just doesn't work. Democrats don't like the idea of socialists in power in America because it's not who we are.
Democrats are more liberal on immigration, obviously. That's fine.
Right.
But you can't find a Democratic office holder who will explain clearly, and I've tried night after night, what exactly our border policy should be. You can't get a vigorous defense of the idea of borders out of a leading Democrat right now. And some of them, like Keith Ellison, are openly saying borders are themselves racist. They're inherently immoral, borders. How do you feel about that as you watch?
Well, that just doesn't go with me anyway. A country, a great thing about America, let me say first, is that from the beginning, we never defined ourselves primarily by our borders, but by our values and the Constitution, Declaration of Independence. But once you say that, you got to have borders. You have to have rules for who can come in and who can't come in. I happen to be generally positive about immigration and what it does and has done for our country and can still do, but not just open the borders and say anybody can come in. That's a country without rules, and we are a country of laws. So that's the kind of policy that's never going to make it in America, even though most Americans, I think, have a generally favorable attitude toward new Americans who are immigrants.
I think that's true. Senator, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tucker. Good discussion.